All right, our first guest has been on stages around the world since she could walk and talk. Antonia Bennett. I know. She grew up with mentors like, Rosemary Clooney, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and of course, her father, Tony Bennett. All of them inspiring her to sing.
Yeah, so she had several chances to share the stage with her dad. Take a look.
Hey, old friend, are you okay? Old friend, what do you say? Old friend, are we or aren't we unique?
Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and I, we get continued next week.
They sounded great together, don't they?
Sure did. This week is a big one for her. Antonia's new song, Ain't Misbehaven, debuts tomorrow, and she's performing over in Staten Island.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So let's bring her in on Welcome to New York Living, Antonia Bennett.
Yay! So nice to meet you, Marisol.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Good to meet you as well.
Welcome. Look at those shoes. They're having a moment.
Yeah,
wow.
thank you.
That's a pattern.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Are you excited about tomorrow?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Ain't Misbehaven?
Ain't Misbehaven.
Where is that in the repertoire of musical things you have going on in that big brain of yours?
Well, it's the first single for this record that I've been waiting to release for such a long time now, called
Yeah.
Expressions, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh my goodness. So just now in the intro we were talking about the folks you grew up with who were your mentors. I mean, my mentor was Mrs. Lewis, God love her.
Oh, yeah, Miss Lewis,
It was
yeah.
my next door neighbor, but she was not Rosemary Clooney or Frank Sinatra or your dad.
Like we had to do last names. Are they just like Ro and Dean and Frankie?
Well, I mean, it was normal for me. You know, it was normal. We had all different kinds of people from all different walks of life around, and you know, these people just happened to be really great at what they did. They were around.
And as you in the same room with these folks, are you picking up different things that are different about their singing nuances and such?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that I really got to watch my dad perform a lot with Rosemary Clooney when I was a child, because they used to double bill together and play these great rooms like the Fairmont and all these wonderful casinos.
Wow.
That's great.
Was
Great
your
seeing the
house,
photos.
I know these photos are
Yeah.
spectacular. Was your house just always full of music?
Always.
Always.
Always. There was always a lot of music around.
What genre? Was it different genres, or was it really the genre that you're most comfortable
Well,
with?
at my dad's house, it was always jazz.
Yeah.
You know, all different musicians and singers, and it was mostly jazz that he listened to.
What's on your workout playlist? Would we be surprised that there's a little bit of Jay-Z and Glorilla?
You know, I listen to a lot of different things, and I really pull kind of from everything.
Yeah.
This is what I like to do, because it's, for me, this is what I grew up doing, and I really love to interpret these songs, but I really do listen to a wide range of music from all different genres.
Okay.
Let's talk about your album, Expressions. Tell us about it. What went into it? Labor of love. I always wonder
it
when
was
people
a
do this
labor
for
of
a
love.
living. Yeah.
I did write a lot of original songs on this record, so that was really nice. And I do feel that a lot of the originals were just a snapshot of where I was in my life at the time. I'm a new mom, and I kind of came into it later. I had my daughter later in life. I was already a very well-developed.
You were a woman of a certain age.
Point.
Hello, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and so I think that, you know, a lot of these songs were written at that time when I was just kind of trying to figure out, how do you do everything and have a career and have a family? And
Have you figured it out?
I feel like something is always, you know, you're always juggling different balls in the air and wondering if you're doing everything.
Any of them right? Am I failing at every single one of them?
Yeah.
I have two boys, and I remember going back to work and thinking, I can do all of this.
Yeah.
And having a massive meltdown under my desk and being like, there's no way.
It's a lot. It is a lot. But, you know, thankfully, I have a very capable husband, you know, good support group of people around me.
You have to.
Yeah.
It does
So
take a
early
village.
in your career, like there was a New York Times columnist who described your voice as a mix of Billie Holiday and Betty Boop.
That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah.
Even the Betty Boop part, but
Yeah,
but
I don't
absolutely,
mind.
absolutely.
Because I think that just means like a little flirtatious swagger.
Absolutely.
You know?
Where do you think this album is in that scale?
I really think that in this record that I tapped into like a lot of different elements. That there's a maturity in this record that wasn't there in my past projects. I do feel like I'm really coming into my own, that this is kind of my time to do that, and I do it in a much more unforgiving way.
Sure.
You know, I just
That's
kind of
right.
go for it.
Good for you. All right, so you're heading over to Shaolin, Staten Island. What can audiences expect?
They can expect to hear some songs from my new record and some American songbook, and also some of my originals.
I love it. Well, Antonia, thank you so much for stopping here before your
Really
whirlwind
appreciate it.
tour.
Well, thank you.